Today, we are diving into a really wild political story out of Texas, where one party managed to pass a pretty controversial bill, even after the opposition literally walked out to stop them. So how on earth is that even possible?
Right? It's the central puzzle here. It sounds like something that just shouldn't happen, kind of like scoring a goal after the final whistle blows. To really get how this went down, we first have to understand what the Democrats were trying to do in the first place.
So, here's the scene. The Texas Senate is voting on a brand new congressional map, and it's a big deal. The key part? Most of the Democratic senators got up and walked right out of the room, specifically to prevent that vote from happening. And yet, the vote happened anyway.
What the Democrats were trying to pull off is a high-stakes legislative move known as a quorum break. You know, it's one of the most dramatic tools a minority party has in its back pocket to just stop a vote dead in its tracks.
The magic word here is quorum. And in Texas, it's not just a simple majority. To do any official business at all, a supermajority, that's 2/3 of all senators, have to physically be there in the chamber.
The easiest way to think about it is like a sports match. Let's say the rules state you need 2/3 of all the players on the field just to start the game. Well, if one team decides to walk off and you dip below that number, the game just stops. It's paused. No official plays can be made, no points can be scored. So, on paper, the strategy is pretty straightforward. The smaller party walks out. That makes the number of people in the room fall below that critical 2/3 mark. And once that happens, the whole process is legally frozen. No more business can get done. Simple as that. Which, of course, brings us right back to the main mystery. The Democrats knew the rules, they made their move, so why didn't it work? What piece of this puzzle went sideways?
Well, the answer is in a really crucial detail. This exact same strategy was being tried in two different places, the Texas House and the Texas Senate. And here's the thing, in one, it worked like a charm. In the other, it was a complete failure.
I mean, just look at the difference here. Over in the Texas House, Democrats packed their bags and left the state entirely. And boom, they successfully broke quorum, stopped the vote. But in the Senate, the walkout failed. The quorum was somehow maintained, and the vote went right on through. Same play, totally opposite results. Why?
It really just boils down to the numbers. The Texas Senate has 31 members. To hit that 2/3 quorum, you've got to have 21 of them in the room. With 19 Republicans present, they were so close, but they still needed a couple more people. And the entire outcome, the success or failure of this whole dramatic political maneuver, it all hinged on this one number, 2.
Because while 9 Democratic senators walked out, 2 didn't. Senators Judith and Juan Hinojosa stayed behind. And get this, even though they voted against the map in the end, their simple physical presence in that room was the only thing that mattered for the quorum.
The math here is just so stark. You had 19 Republicans, plus the 2 Democrats who stayed, and that equals 21, exactly the number needed for a quorum. The walkout was foiled, not by the other party, but from within their own ranks.
As you can probably guess, a move this dramatic kicked off a huge war of words. Let's take a look at how each side was explaining their actions.
So the Senate Democrats who left put out a statement, and they framed their protest as a fight for democracy itself. They argued that this whole redistricting map was basically a corrupt process designed to let politicians pick their voters instead of, voters picking their leaders.
Now, on the other side, you had Republican Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who's the head of the Senate. He called the whole thing a vacation for the Democrats, and he promised to just keep pushing the map forward, trying to put all the pressure on the House Democrats to come back and get back to work.
So, okay, this map passed the Senate, but trust me, this political fight is far from over. This one vote was just a single battle in what's shaping up to be a much, much longer war.
Here's what you got to watch for next. That map still has to get through the Texas House. And over there, the Democrats are, at least for now, staying unified and successfully breaking quorum by staying out of the state. The governor, though, he's made it crystal clear he'll just keep calling special session after special session until they come back. So we're looking at a real standoff with no clear end in sight. This whole episode just goes to show you that legislative rules aren't just some boring guidelines. They are the battlefield itself. And it leaves us all with a pretty big question. When the fight stops being about the issues and starts being about the rules of the game, who is it that truly wins?